feel a little bit cheated because I heard Brother Reese ask the ensemble for a second selection, and I, out of protocol, yelled out, "Encore, encore," and they ignored both of us. They're saving those voices for another performance, but let me add my thank you to the beautiful music that you rendered this morning, this afternoon. To be sure, young folks have a lot of things they could be doing these days, and for you to make the decision, and it was your decision, to be here, to be a part of this program, Kip Ward doesn't take for granted. So let me say thank you for being here, but more importantly, let me say thank you for what you have committed yourselves to be by doing what you do. And that's a big deal. Never take that for granted, so congratulations and thank you. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that ran down the skirts of his garments, and as the dew of Hermon, and as dew descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. It is an absolute pleasure and privilege for me to be here. Greetings to my brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and happy Founders Day. And hello to the families, friends, and guests who have come out to be a part of this occasion. Thank you, Brother Everett, for allowing me to be a part of your chapter's events. And I'd also like to thank the brothers of Gamma Pi and Brother Reese for reaching out to me. I do enjoy being here and consider it an honor and a distinct privilege and pleasure. Those of you who have been acknowledged, it's good to see you, the potentates, first Vice DR, past DR, Ambassador, and to use a phrase that I was able to use as I spoke around the continent of Africa. As one African head of state told me, he said, "General, let me tell you one thing. Sometimes folks come in, go out, and you kind of miss people. Let me give you a piece of advice." And who am I not to take advice from a head of state? I said, "Yes, sir, I'm listening." There's a phrase that you can use that if you kind of miss somebody, they will feel like you didn't if you use this phrase. And I said, "Well, tell me what it is, and I'll be happy to follow your advice and guidance." And he said, "Once you've made your acknowledgments and said hello to everyone, you can always say, 'All protocol observed.'" So youngsters, all protocol observed, because to you a special, special hello for your being here. Now, I did receive some advice before coming to the program. And I think I acknowledged and said something about the ensemble, but we had a great jazz ensemble here as well, and teammates, you did wonderfully as well. And that color guard, I just really happy with what I saw there, so let's give them all a round of applause. As I mentioned, I did receive some advice prior to coming here today. My wife Joyce is here with me, and I'm always happy that she's here to be a part of these events. And when she told our daughter, who was also a Delta like her mom, where we were going, my daughter's advice was, "Dad, just have a good opening, have a good beginning, and only a little bit in between." So I'm going to take her advice so the important part of the program, the awards presentations, can indeed go on. But before getting started with my brief remarks, let me relay a note that I received from our grand bosses, Dr. Andrew Ray, just this week. And I'll paraphrase the note, won't repeat it in full. But basically what Dr. Ray told me, our grand boss, was, and this is a paraphrase, "Like all Omega men, you wear the 4 stars of Omega." That meant a lot to me because our cardinal principles, manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift, are what this is all about. And so with his repeat of that to me about who Kip Ward is, I will say to you and to the community, out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the felt clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Look, beyond the place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. The founding of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated in 1911 by 3 Howard University students, Frank Coleman, Oscar J. Cooper, Edgar A. Love, and the young professor, Ernest Everett Just, was an historic step on the grounds of an historically black university to perpetuate friendship and leadership skills. Becoming notable achievers in their own right, our founders pioneered and created a deep spirit of brotherhood among men who pursued goals and objectives of the fraternity, and as many say, men of like attainment. They made no apology for being men of high ideals and intelligence. This spirit was reflected in the vision of Brother Dr. Carter G. Woodson as he initiated our Black History observances, then week, now month, and for many of us, all year long, all lifetime, to be sure. Men of the fraternity during those years and since have committed to accepting and working to overcome the challenges of our times in our society, in science, in education, in law, in the military, ministry, literature, from civil rights and labor relations to sports. The vision of the founders propelled them into action in support of community service programs, as well as various projects to help our fellow human beings and to promote brotherhood amongst its members. At our Centennial Convention in the summer 2011, our Grand Bosses, Dr. Ray, recounted a conversation that he had had with Bishop Love, one of our founders, where Brother Love told him, the founders gave Omega life. Now it is your job, meaning us, the current membership, to keep it going. There was a time, and still occasionally, we will hear brothers saying, what would the founders do when the fraternity confronts challenging situations, or when any challenge is faced? I think in today's environment, as do many other brothers, at this stage, a more adequate refrain would be, what would the founders have us be? And going back to our cardinal principles, manhood, scholarship, perseverance, uplift, set by the founders as the basis for our great fraternity. And with those 4 cardinal principles, coupled with our fraternity motto, friendship is essential to the soul, the answer and our actions are clear. What and who would the founders have us be? We'll talk about that. So as this Achievement Week program is guided by those principles and our motto, our chapters are pursuing activities, programs, and projects that promote community service, social awareness, and recognizes the importance of friendship. As Gamma Pi engages in its Project Enrich at Bowie High School by mentoring 9th through 12th graders and preparing them for college, and programs like Q Kids, the project at the Kentland Community Center, with 5th and 6th graders, with social programs exposing this very influential but yet susceptible group of youngsters to real men in positive ways, to encourage and motivate them to be good and decent human beings. I'd say we are being what our founders would have us be. In a few minutes, Gamma Pi chapter will recognize distinguished servants achievers, as well as Omega brothers for their contributions in an array of areas, for their achievement as standout human beings in the community and the chapter through Citizen of the Year, congratulations, Religious Leader of the Year, Educator of the Year, Student Athlete of the Year, various scholarship awards, all highlighting the value we place on community support, civic action, and social action. The Superior Service Award, our Founders Award, and the Omega Man of the Year demonstrates the emphasis we place on our motto, friendship is essential to the soul, as we continue to build our brotherhood. The various activities being undertaken today and throughout this past week by 750 chapters of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity around the world talk to the meaning of our celebration of this, the period marking our birth and being 101 years old. Activities that recognize we have the opportunity and obligation to reach out to our brothers, to promote those things that have been so important to our founders that we strive to continue on today to improve upon as we work to improve that with what they began. So again, are we being the men our founders would have us be? I say yes. And this program, with all the persons here, is a heartfelt demonstration of that fact. The work does not stop with this program. We must continue to be bridge builders in our communities, across the state, across our nation, and indeed around the globe, and for sure within our fraternity. Now that's what our Project Fatherhood, in conjunction with President Obama, that's what this program is all about. That's what Gamma Pi chapter is all about. And so, again, going back to the guidance that my daughter gave me, a little bit in the middle, stay thoroughly immersed, men of Omega. Our founders would expect nothing less. And they are indeed smiling with a nod of approval as they witness all that is occurring here today. And the actions that will follow tomorrow and beyond are an additional foot stomp to what they would have us be. Again, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this magnificent occasion. Congratulations to all the awardees. Happy Founders Day, my brothers. Thank you very much. God bless you.